How we doing?
Good.
Good. So the next 2 days, we get a chance to have our team together here and really go through the rhythm and flow of an in-season Wednesday and an in-season Thursday. I think it's important to be able to do that with a young quarterback with offense that's going through it for the first time, and us going through it together. So we'll get the show team looks and all the things that we do on an in-season Wednesday and Thursday. So it's good. Just got out of the walkthrough 5 minutes ago or so. That was a good process as well. Just wanted to go back and really thank the guys for a really good training camp and all the players that participated in it. And of course, you guys saw we had to let many of those guys go here in the last 24 to 48 hours. And that's always a difficult time. Got a chance to see those guys and thank them for their hard work and their efforts during that time as well. But as you also saw, we put some guys to IR and designated for return. Borum and Martin was designated for return, and Scales is going to IR. So question will be about the long snapper. That's coming, and we feel really good about where we are. And Ryan will be up here to talk in more depth about that as we get going here around 4:30, I believe, with y'all. But and we also expect Kari Blasingame back. So that's another thing that we expect back. That's a positive as well, obviously. And we just had to work through that. But other than that, we'll open up to questions.
Matt, as you transition to the regular season with Caleb, from your chair as a defensive-minded head coach with a really good defense and a competitive roster, how will you sort of balance the patience with letting Caleb kind of spread his wings and develop as a young quarterback without compromising the chance to win games on a weekly basis?
Yeah, I really think it's comes down to play design. I'm just going to micro it down to the play. So we all know what he can do in terms of his arm talent, in terms of throwing on the move and those types of things. But in the early parts of the game and early downs, he's just asked to play point guard. Have a great operation, play point guard, get the ball to our skill, either by handing it off or throwing it to them and letting them do the run and then moving around and gaining the yards. And it's going to be big that our offensive line plays well, like I've said in the past, and everybody plays well around them. That's defense and special teams included. So, and then when you get to the point in the game where it is a critical down or a third down or in the red zone or whatever that might be, then you might see X factor come out, and that's where it is. But again, he's just about the process of getting in and out of the huddle, being smooth, and operating the offense.
What have you guys done to prepare him for the challenge that is climbing the mountain during the regular season? And is there a way to fully prepare him, or do you kind of have to live it a little bit?
Yeah, the process, so we just talked about going through the in-season. So we've already done it once. We went with cards and stuff we're doing today, but we already did it one time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're going back through it again to go through the process of it. And it's going to be a rhythm of these first 6 weeks. We're on 7-day schedules this whole time for a better part of the first part of the season. So he'll get a good rhythm to that. And really, it's just about that process going through. And we've already walked him through it a couple times in terms of what he does on Monday after the game, Tuesday when we're game planning, and then Wednesday all the way through Saturday.
To that point of Caleb's early season development, but also the offense as a whole, new system, a lot of key additions in key spots. I know it's a week-to-week thing. When you break it down in the quarters, the last 2 quarters of the season seem on paper to be more difficult than the first 2 quarters of the season. It's important to get out to that fast start so that you put yourself in position there. Is that something you talk about? Do you leave it week to week? How do you go about looking at those quarters of the season that you had?
Yeah, there's a little rhythm there because you have 6, and then you got the Thanksgiving game. You got 6 in between there, and then you got another 5 to end it. Break after the Thursday game at the end. So there is a natural rhythm to it, natural break to it. But really, you just got to micro it down to play in the first game, and starting fast. That's what all the good teams do. They start fast. The teams that make it to the postseason, they start fast. Of course, you got to finish strong, but having a fast start is always important in the NFL.
Man, what did Velus do to land this spot on the 53, and how would you kind of outline his workload? I mean, is he going to be classified primarily as a running back? Will he be in the receiver room as well? Like, how do you see this going forward?
Yeah, I really see him. He made it just by his efforts, and the production he had in practice, in the preseason games, and his willingness to be able to adjust and adapt and then be able to get that done in terms of his performance. I commend the coaches for doing a wonderful job in that. Chad and Jennifer and Chris and Shane and all the guys that had to work with him and to be able to help him be successful. He partnered up with those guys. So it's a really good effort by everybody. And it, again, comes down to him being able to do it and his willingness to want to and the work ethic. So he's going to be a guy for us that we can use in multiple ways. We can use him in the backfield. We can spread him out. We can do things, a lot of different things with him. And that's, to me, a benefit. Trying to defend that when he comes in the game is a little bit different than just a normal type of receiver or guy that can line up in the backfield. So I think it creates a little bit of a time on task practice-wise for the opponent and also preparation-wise, in the film study.
And do you anticipate Austin Booker being active? And if you do, what's your kind of general plan to use him? Will he just be a situational guy or a true rotation or what? With an intriguing guy like that, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a rookie, a defensive lineman that's a rookie. So we're still in the development phase of that, and we feel really good where he is. In terms of a pass rusher, we've seen that in the preseason. And then really working on his game to be in an every down end where he can play the run, set the edges that we ask, and do the things that we want him to do. In terms of playing run defense on first and second. So we're still going through that process. We feel really good about where our ends are. We had some additions, as you guys know, and we'll evaluate that as we go through the week.
If run defense is an issue with him, especially if you have a successful team, is it even possible to let him learn the hard way and get there, or would you just kind of pare back and figure that out later and let him just rush the passer?
Yeah, I mean, we'll define his role. He'll have a role and responsibility there, and if he can do all things, which we want him to do, he will do that. And if he's a little bit, developing in a certain phase of it, then we'll just back him down to that particular department. But we're always going to evaluate that and push him to be an every down end.
Do you think Bayard's going to be ready for week 1?
Yeah.
Is there anybody on your roster that you don't think will be?
Doesn't look like right now, but we'll see.
And I know you don't have a lot of time at this time of year to do a lot of self-evaluation and self-reflection, but when you think about the ways you've gone over the past 6 to 8 months to prepare this team for the regular season, what do you think you've done the strongest job in with this particular group of getting them ready?
Oh, I think our team has done a really good job of coming together. So that's everybody, on task in terms of starting in April 15 and until now of bringing our team together. And I think that I trust the leadership of this team. I can feel the closeness and the bond that they're forming earlier than ever before. And I can just feel that with these guys. And that's not just coaches, that's players, that's leaders, that's everybody, staff, front office, everybody. So it's important that we're all on there. And we've been very intentional about that and very authentic in terms of our approach to that. And I think that's going to be a big part of it.
How do you continue to manage the fact that you guys have you were in camp for over a month?
Mhm.
Now you still have time before the regular season. There's been a lot of attention, a lot of hype around the Bears. How do you navigate that now that you're getting to the point where it really counts?
Yeah, so there's a gap here. So, I think I said it the other day, the most important thing is keeping sharp. And what does that mean? That means keeping mentally sharp, into the schemes. And then your conditioning level has to be sharp. And then your fundamentals, the basics of football, blocking, tackling, leverage, all the things that protection, all the things that wins games. So we've been very intentional about that as well. So the conditioning, the strength and conditioning, performance has been a big part of that over these last few days while these cuts have been being made. So we've been doing a really good job with that. With the mental side of it, also getting walkthroughs, and then today's a big part of it, and tomorrow as well. So you just got to stay sharp, your conditioning, staying healthy, and staying sharp mentally.
Matt, when you had a chance to regroup, reset in the offseason, yourself, you individually, what did you think about in terms of game management when you are also, as you were last season, going to be balancing defensive play call responsibilities, which was not your original plan?
I would say not much. Obviously improving as we go and working with game management and working with Shane. I think the most important thing this offseason was working with a new offensive coordinator, making sure that we're on the same page in terms of what we're calling, why we're doing certain situations during certain times of the game, and being on the same page there. And we're very methodical about that, how we teach that to the team and how we practice that during training camp and during the season. So it's been good.
There's
Two more.
a report that you guys are bringing back Austin Reed for the practice squad. What's intriguing about him?
We just like the way he operated. I mean, super smart. He performed well in the games, was great in the quarterback room in terms of supporting and being involved and engaged there. And we think he's got a bright future.
Matt, as you guys get Caleb into the week-to-week grind of being an NFL quarterback, what part of that weekly process are you most interested to see how he handles?
After the first game. You know, so after the first game, this first game is going to be, you know, it's a little abnormal because you got a lot of time to prepare. So it's not really a normal NFL week. But after that first game, be able to reset, right? Whatever happened, look at the performance, and then go ahead and self-reflect. Meet with me, meet with Shane. What can I improve on? What did I do well? And then be able to reset and then go to the next week. That's the biggest part that you have to do in the NFL because it happens fast. You don't have time to, you got time to reflect a little bit, but then you got to move on to the next week, going on to Tuesday, and then through that normal week, which will be the second week. So I'm excited about that.
Congrats, you finished the video. If you want to build on that success, download the NBC Sports Chicago app. It's got highlights, exclusive insights, and push alerts tailored to you. Everything you need to be a real Chicago sports fan. Download it now.